everyone, my name is Dmitry and I'm head of technical department at TECHNO-AC Russia. And today's video is completely dedicated to our most powerful utility location transmitter which we're having in our range. It is called AG-120, and this transmitter can be found in the following sets of equipment: Success AG-319G and Success AG-319N. The links to these sets you can find below in the description to this video, but today we will be speaking more about the transmitter itself. First of all, if you look on the transmitter, you will see that it is bigger than more portable transmitters by TECHNO-AC we have shown you in previous videos. This particular model weighs 12.5 kilograms, mostly because it is equipped with two accumulators which help you to generate the output power up to 270 watt, and they can operate in parallel or in continuous connection mode, which may help you to increase the basic power of transmitter. So the basic power of this transmitter is 120 watt on the output, and this equipment has a so-called unlimited power mode in which you can achieve up to 270 watt output power. That is why this equipment has the mechanical switch, which is here on the back of the equipment, and also it has the special viewing window which helps you to control the operation of the device without actual access to the face panel of the equipment. Of course, this is powerful equipment, that is why it has to be manually controlled and manually switched on and switched off, and when the lid is closed, you may have access only to the mechanical switch. This is made for the protection, and the protection level of this equipment is IP65. Of course, when your lid is completely closed. You can see that the body of this transmitter is similar to other TECHNO-AC devices. It has a rugged plastic case with rubber protection. It protects you from the water when you operate the transmitter. And you have pretty big control panel, which has not so much buttons, but it has big display and clear indications of what you see on the display and what settings you can input with this keyboard. Also, this transmitter has an extended indication system which helps you to understand what is wrong with the cable or with the pipe you are going to look for. I'm not talking about cable fault location, I'm talking about the lack of grounding, the lack of current, and some faults which can be caused by improper connection of the transmitter to the cable. So it will, here you may see the list of all possible problems which you may come across when using this equipment, and by using the user manual in English, by reading this user manual, you can fix all of them and improve your location. One of the main features of this equipment is that it doesn't require TECHNO-AC locator to be used in real field conditions. By saying that, I mean that you can use any locator of any manufacturer with this particular transmitter, and that is why this transmitter supports manual input of a frequency. This small keyboard allows you to input the frequency, to change the output frequency in the range from 200 Hz up to 10 kilohertz. It means that most receivers of any manufacturer in the world support the frequencies generated by this transmitter. And I'm highlighting this feature because most of the locators globally limited with 10 watts power, 10 watts output power for their transmitters, and this one is not limited at all, but maximum power it can give you out is 270 watt. Why would you need so much power? You may need so much power if you are tracing old rusty pipes, high resistance cables, for example armored optic fiber cables, and if you are going to trace any underground utility containing metal parts for long distance. In all our documents on our website, we state that this transmitter is capable of tracing underground cables and pipes at distance up to 10 kilometers. And in real conditions, you can achieve even more by using the unlimited power mode, by using proper grounding and some other improvements and life hacks which we provide in our English user manual. Also, this equipment is recommended for vehicle use. By saying that, I mean that it's not that portable to be carried around, but it's perfect to be moved by car. And this version of the transmitter has wire leads which are longer than your basic leads, so you could connect the transmitter from the car trunk, and also the inductive antenna which you can use for wireless connection of the transmitter to the pipe or to the cable. It is made external, so most of our transmitter has internal antenna. This model supports only external antenna, which prevents you from constant moving of this transmitter. I would like to give you a detailed presentation of the functions of this transmitter. So let us have a closer look on its controls and outputs, and then we will have a step-by-step guide on how to use this transmitter and how to input its settings. AG-120 has several control buttons which are placed all over it, and the first section of controls which I'm going to show you is a manual switch button, which completely disables or enables all the power supply for this equipment. And also you can see the external power supply connector, which is also a charger for your built-in accumulators, and your output socket, which is used for direct connection lead and direct connection to the cables and to the pipes. Let us put the socket in until we hear a click, and then we can press on button, and we hear the sound which announces that we have turned on the transmitter, but the transmission, the creation of electromagnetic signal, hasn't started yet. Okay, we can see the face panel of the transmitter. You have a dedicated on-off button here, which will work only after you turn on the mechanical switch. You hear the beep again, and you can see the voltage of your accumulators, 13.1 volt. Also, you can see the selected mode of generation, it is continuous. And you can see the selected frequency, 512 Hz, and the preset of output current, 0.1 amperes. So when we have understood all the indications of the transmitter, we can start changing its settings by pressing enter button, which is here. When we do this, we can switch the mode of the generation between continuous, shock, which is used with impact device for plastic pipe location, and charge, which starts to charge our accumulators if the charger is connected, and two frequencies, which is used for the current direction feature and for a friend of four cable fault location. Also, this transmitter supports pulse generation, which saves the battery. We will keep continuous this time, and then we press right arrow, and by using up and down arrows we can switch between preset frequencies of this transmitter: 512 Hz, 8 kHz, 1 kHz, and that's it. But if we press enter once again, you can see that the first dash is blinking, and it can help us changing the frequency whatever we like. So for example, I want to have 7512 Hertz. Suppose my receiver supports this frequency. I can do this in any range starting from 12 Hertz and up to 9999 Hertz. This helps me to select the frequencies which match my receiver. On default, you're having the frequencies that match the TECHNO-AC receivers, for example AP19.1 or AP19.3, but if you're having some other equipment, you can manually input these frequencies in your device and they will be stored, and each time you use this transmitter there will be these frequencies and you can use them with your receiver. Also, another feature of this equipment is that you can preset the desirable output current, and maximum current this transmitter can give out is 15 ampere. That's very good output, and we can select by adding half or 1 ampere each time, and we can give in limited mode up to 9.9 amperes, and in unlimited mode the output can go up to 15 amperes. It means that the transmitter will try to match the load until it reaches the desired and preset value of the output current. Let us do the following. We will use 0.1 ampere and we will press start button. We will wait for some time and we can see that transmitter is gaining voltage until it will meet the requested current. As we have our crocodiles connected to nowhere, the transmitter will be working for some time trying to match the unexisting load, but in some moment it will stop, I guess on the maximum load out, and we will be able to see the values which can be switched by pressing this button. So the voltage is 46.3 volts now. The amperage is not available to us because our circuit is open. The resistance is also unavailable and the output power is also unavailable. If we connect this transmitter to a particular cable or a particular pipe, we will be able to see the numeric values of these parameters and we will be able to control them by switching the indication. Also, you may see the LED indication of a max output voltage, and you can even increase this output if you need. As I told you before, you may need locating the old rusty pipe or high resistance cable, and you can see this sign here, the warning sign, which represents the activation of the output, unlimited output mode. Let us enable this mode by pressing and holding the start button, and you can see that the output is blinking now, and when the unlimited output will be achieved, the sign will stop blinking. I will stop this generation for safety precautions, but generally if you need the maximum output power from this transmitter, you can achieve it by pressing and holding the start-stop button. On any frequency, on any setting, by pressing and holding, you can activate the unlimited power mode, but be careful, do not touch any metal part of the transmitter. I'm talking about the output leads, and also I'm talking about the crocodile clamps when the transmission is on. It can be dangerous for your life because this transmitter is too powerful and it has a lot of current, output current, which can damage you. Okay, so generally we have seen almost all the controls of this transmitter. Let us check the other features of this equipment. and settings which we can input and use for our location. Here we have SH mode, which represents shock mode, which is used for the location of plastic pipes. It means that you can connect the impact device to this transmitter and activate it from this menu. In your settings, you may switch between 30 strikes per minute, 120 strikes per minute and 60 strikes per minute. It means that the frequency of your strikes on the pipe can be varied, and you can use the different frequencies of impacts in order to make your signal more distinguishable and more recognizable. Also, you may switch the power of your strikes. C1 means power 1 of weakest strike on the pipe. C2 is more powerful strike on the pipe, and there are only 2 settings here, so not much to change, but still you may increase the power of your strike, which also helps to make your plastic pipe location more successful. We're going back and we switch to charge mode. As I told you in the beginning, this mode is activated when you connect the charger for built-in accumulators. In this mode, the accumulators are being charged. You have to keep the transmitter on, and in order to keep it fully functional, you don't have to completely discharge this transmitter. So you have to keep at least some small amount of current, of the voltage in the accumulators, in order to be able to charge the transmitter. So be careful with that. A lot of power requires a lot of control here. 2-frequency mode. As I told you, this mode is used for the current direction indication and for the cable fault location. You can also switch the frequencies and the current, which will be simultaneously sent to the cable or to the pipe. And pulse mode and continuous mode are basically the same, but the pulse mode is used for the saving of your accumulators and for extension of your battery operated time. Basically, this is everything I could tell you about AG-120, and you can see that this is pretty simple, most powerful and most effective TECHNO-AC transmitter that we have so far. Yes, it may be a little bit bulky and heavy, but still it's very functional, its power is outstanding. And what I like most about it is that it can work with any other receiver, with any other cable and pipe locator from any other brand. It means that if you are having any other locator of any other brand, you can use it with this transmitter. Thank you very much for joining us today. We have discussed AG-120 transmitter and its most powerful and its most required features for successful cable and pipe location. We really hope that you get more new information, and if you want to check our website, you may find the links in the description below. Please subscribe to our channel to be first to know about TECHNO-AC equipment, and join our groups and pages in social networks. We post a lot of helpful and useful information there. Thank you very much.